guys, welcome back. I'm Harry Hadley with Hadley Chiropractic, and I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the recent success we're having due to our new partnership with the Rise to Wellness and its owner, Bree Cooper. There's been some cases in the office, things that we've talked about a lot, that we've had a lot of success with co-managing here. And I want you to hear some of these tips because I think a lot of people need to hear them. The first thing I want to talk about is chronic inflammation. Most people are used to inflamed joints when we're talking about a chiropractic office, but when it becomes systemic and it seems more than just a single joint injury, it's been very helpful to talk to somebody who knows about nutrition like Bree. Why don't you tell them a little bit about who you are, Bree, and some of the things you're looking for when we're talking about chronic inflammation.
Sure.
Including, if you will, fibromyalgia, because that's something I hear about a lot.
Yeah, that's a big topic. So my official title is a functional nutritional therapy practitioner. All that to say that I really approach nutrition from a holistic and functional medicine spectrum. So it's really more so about taking the person's whole being, into account, and not just, okay, what are your symptoms? Let's address those individually. It's really about, okay, let's go back upstream a little bit and figure out the root cause. So especially that's important for things like chronic inflammation, fibromyalgia, because everyone's root cause is going to be a little bit different. But when it comes to that as a general topic, it really can be a couple major triggers for people. One can certainly be food sensitivities. That's kind of a big thing. And it's hard to figure out what your food sensitivities are. So that's kind of where it comes to, talking to someone as a professional to figure out what food sensitivities are bothering you. But then really other things like eating, boxed and processed foods, that's where the culprits are in those inflammatory oils. So everything, that falls under the category of a vegetable oil like canola, soybean, those types of things are going to be chronically inflammatory for joints.
And it doesn't seem to be just one thing. I've noticed that a couple different people I've sent to you, it's not just a cookie cutter, you've got fibromyalgia,
Right.
You need to do this. So it's been extremely helpful to have you dive into that for me.
Yes.
It's not really something I can just suggest generically.
Yes, yeah, usually it's very multifactorial, depending on your history and what you've got kind of going on.
Awesome. The other thing that I think we've had great success with is migraines. Another thing that is very typically thought for chiropractors, and we have fantastic results working on the neck and jaw, but there's always going to be cases. Migraines are extremely multifactorial. It's
Yes.
never just one thing.
Yes.
And addressing the diet has been huge on that. Could you touch a little bit on some of the things you're looking for with our migraine patients?
Yeah, so definitely inflammation for one, figuring out the source of that. But a lot of times migraines can also come from food sensitivities, and hidden wise, it could be things like nuts or otherwise healthy foods that people might not think of taking out in the diet. But also, mineral deficiencies, that's a huge one when it comes to migraines. So if you're not properly sufficient in things like magnesium and potassium, that can be a huge migraine trigger. And then also really a major cause of migraines is things like heavy metal toxicity or mold. If you've got that in the home or you're constantly breathing that in, usually it's kind of a root cause, something down that road.
And something you might not be aware of at all if you're not getting tested for it.
Right, exactly.
Awesome. One of the more personal things that I've had a lot of success and enjoy referring to you is my wife struggles with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disease which attacks the thyroid. And I've loved having you as a resource for her to be able to go to. Could you just talk a little bit about that and about just autoimmune diseases in general?
Yeah, that's definitely a big topic too, and definitely more up and coming as we are finding. It's definitely a personal story for me too. That's how I got into all this, was a personal thyroid, and I also have Hashimoto's. So it was definitely something that I dug into and I kind of now specialize in. When it comes to autoimmunity, we have to remember it is when our body is attacking itself. So we, again, figure out what's your root cause for that. But usually, especially when it comes to thyroid, it's really about mineral balance and addressing the gut. So gut balancing is huge. It's usually an overgrowth of some type of yeast, and that yeast actually covers the thyroid receptors on our cells. So usually those are the two areas we kind of dig into and fix your mineral balance and then work to balance your gut.
Love it. Love having you here. And then the other thing too, just general wellness. That's what a lot of people are here for chiropractic care for, is to just make sure their bodies are functioning at the highest level that it can be.
Yeah.
And a good chunk of that is addressing your diet too. I think this year's been extremely important in just realizing how important proactive healthcare is. You might feel fine and the next day be extremely sick. Constantly working towards the highest level of effectiveness our body can get has been extremely helpful, and having someone here that they can address diet-wise has been huge.
Yeah, I think it's been a nice connection for the two of us, because even you know, we've all had a stressful last year and a half. That's
Yeah.
no secret. So I really think too, addressing diet and overall inflammation and, you know, your root causes of some of the symptoms going on, the more that you're able to restore and balance out the systems and the organs in your body, the more resilient you are to stress. So, you know, a 10 out of 10 stressor that used to be at that 10 out of 10, if you're in a healthier state, now that stressor, that same stressor might only be a 5 out of 10. So it really just builds your own body's resilience and tolerance to stress.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited about our partnership, Bri. I think
too.
we're having a lot of success. We're
Yeah.
coming up on our 1-year marker here, and I
Yep.
look forward to many more years of helping in the community.
Yeah, me too. I've been loving being here. So if anyone wants to get a hold of me, I'm here on Tuesday, Thursdays. So feel free to stop in and say hello, or you can find me on my website. It's arisetowellness.com.
Give us a call if you need any help or have any questions about what we talked about. We look forward to seeing you in the office.